Hey, it's Brenna, and today I'm going to give you a life update. I've been a little MIA for, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, a week and a half. I can't remember. I think the last video I did was either my 2021 goals or my planning board. I don't remember which one. But I'm not doing very good on my goals so far because one of my goals was to get into a schedule for posting regularly and getting into some kind of writing schedule. But I've not been doing very good. Right now I'm suffering from a lack of motivation, and I don't really know why that is. I have been really wanting to read a lot lately, and I have been letting myself. And since I've been reading so much, I haven't been working on my own writing as much as I should be. But I made myself a list of what's going on and what I have been doing, because I have been doing things just not at the pace that I would like to do them at, I guess. The first thing on my list is my lack of motivation. I already mentioned that I'm just not feeling particularly motivated to work on anything at the moment, mainly because right now what I need to do for my novel is edits, and edits are my least favorite thing to do. I have done a brief read through where I checked for, using the correct tense and making sure I had, punctuation and all that kind of stuff. I did do a quick read through of all that, and I filled in some places that I thought it was kind of sparse. So right now, my husband is reading it. He is basically my beta reader, and he's the one that's reading it for me, and he printed the whole thing out, and he's making notes on the pages, and then he's giving them to me as he gets them done. But my husband works a full-time job, and we have, 2 kids, and he's just got a full plate right now. I've got more like free time. I'm home while the kids are at school, so it's quiet and I can work on my writing or cleaning or whatever needs done around the house. But I get the kids, I bring them home, and then my husband comes home, and he doesn't really have that quiet time. And even if he goes into a separate room and shuts the door, you can still hear the kids. They're still loud and everything. And usually by about 9 o'clock, he is sacked out for the night, which is around the same time the kids go to bed. So he doesn't really have a lot of extra time to read my book for me and get it to me. Normally it wouldn't be a big deal if it took him a while to get through it, but right now, with me wanting to release my book, like this is today on the 26th, and then I wanted to release it on the 16th, and that's not very long. I don't have very long to get it all put together, and he's been doing the edits since December. He's been working through it since December. Right now, he's gotten about halfway through. I'm at almost exactly the halfway mark. So that's good. But the downside of that is it's taking him about a month to get halfway through. So if he goes at the same pace, then I'm definitely not going to get the book released by the 16th. I'm now looking to push back the release. Because normally I would have liked to have already had the pre-order up, and I would have liked to have already done the cover reveal, which is one of the reasons I've not been on here, is because I'm like, well, the videos that I already had planned I can't do, so I need to do a different kind of video. But again, my lack of motivation is really getting me down. So looking at my planning board, since I was pointing at it, let's knock my markers. Let's see where I'm at. Back cover blurb. I did write a copy of it. It's not good. It's basically just a whole bunch of 1 or 2 sentences, paragraphs, like I would be writing something and I'd be like, well, maybe it'll sound better this way. So I wrote it another way. Right now it's just a bunch of sentences, but there's no flow whatsoever. I'm having a really hard time with this one which I had a hard time with the first one as well. I'm just having a really hard time with the back cover because I want to give enough away that it seems like it's interesting, but I don't want to give away major plot points that come as a surprise later on. But I have started it. It's just not finished. I wanted to do the cover reveal on the 12th. That didn't happen. Sorry. Finalize the formatting and send that to the cover designer. That was if I had my edits done. I've said this before in previous videos. The cover's already done. I've got the cover for this book, but only for the e-copy. With the paperback copy, they need to know how many pages the book is going to be so they can get the spine and everything right. And then I need to send them the back cover blurb so that they can put that on there as well. And since I don't have the blurb done and I don't know exactly how many pages it's going to be because I haven't formatted it yet, then I haven't sent it to the cover designers. So that's not done. But that's mainly for the print version. And I did decide that the print version may not come out on the same day that the e-copy is released. So far, I've had my debut novel, Into the Shadows, has been out since November 17th of 2020, and nobody's bought a print copy but me. So I don't feel like it's going to be the end of the world if I put the ebook out before I get it formatted and everything for the paperback. As long as I've got it formatted for the e-copy, I feel like it's going to be okay. So I'm not as worried about this. That was, ideally I would like to have them out on the same day, but the way that my timeline is going, it's just not looking like that's going to happen. Pre-order up? Nope, didn't get that done. Order proof copies? Not got proof copies because I don't have my book done. And then the final version finished. Well, the final version is most definitely not finished. I'm not ready. And then on the 1st, I'm supposed to have uploaded the final version of the book onto Amazon's website. No, I'm not even close. It's not even close. It is looking like I will most definitely have to push the release back. I'm either going to try to push it back just 1 week and get it done by the end of February, or I may be pushing it into March. If I have to push it all the way into March, it pushes the release dates of the rest of my books for the rest of the year back at least a month. It's not the end of the world for that to happen. However, the book I'm working on right now does take place in February, and the next book that I plan to release, it was originally going to release in May or June. It also takes place in February. So I don't love that. I mean, you don't have to put a book out in the same season that it's written in, but usually it works better. The way that I wrote the series, I wasn't thinking about release dates when I wrote it. I'm a season behind. I feel like I'm a season behind on everything. So that's catching you up so far on what my January board is doing. I needed to work really hard in January. I said that when I made the planning board video, that I needed to work really hard in January to make sure that I could release the book on time, and I haven't. I have been doing things, like I said, I am over halfway through editing using my husband's notes, and then in my previous read through as well, I've added a total of about 8K to the story as a whole. I am a bit of an underwriter, so that wasn't really surprising to me. The series that I write is an urban fantasy series, and so I write the action sequences as I see them in my head and as they flow through the story, but it's not usually until I do my first or second read through that I really bulk them up and start adding more description to the scenes, which makes them more entertaining to read. But when I'm in the zone just getting them out, they're usually kind of bare bones. So the action scenes I almost always add quite a bit to. And in the book that I'm writing right now, there's quite a few action scenes. I was actually editing this morning, and I've been working on the same fight scene for 2 or 3 days. I'm getting sick of it. It also doesn't help. My least favorite thing to write are the fight scenes. I love the world that my characters are in, and I love the fight scenes once they're written. It's just sitting down and writing them that is really difficult for me. So I'm doing all right. The story was initially 63,000 words or something like that. It might have been 65. And I've got it up to about 73K right now. There will be more added. Like I said, I'm only about halfway through. And my husband's main comment to me throughout most of the story is add more here, explain this section. So I have a feeling that I'm going to add several more thousand words to it before the book is completely finished. And then once I do get it finished and I get the edits done and I get this draft finished, I'm going to need to read it through again from the beginning, and not with an eye to change anything, but just to make sure that where I have changed things, that it still flows. I would also like for my husband to read it again once I get all the changes made that he suggested and see if he likes the flow of the story better. My main problem with that, like I said earlier, is my husband really doesn't have the time to read it. So What I really need is a beta reader. So that's where I'm at right now with my novel. If you like this video, please give it a like and subscribe if you'd like more content from me. I'll also list down below where you can find me on other platforms, and also list my debut novel, Into the Shadows, if you're interested in reading it. And until next time, bye.